Greg Ruff and Caleb Terry, men's basketball team here, and you're from up in Ohio.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
And
originally from Albany, Ohio.
Albany. What's in Albany? If we're going to
Um,
Albany, what do we do in Albany?
a whole lot of farming.
A whole lot of farming.
Yeah, not too much really at all in Albany. Just a high school, a few restaurants, but really that's about it.
If we're going to Albany and you want to get something to eat, what's the place that the locals go?
It's called Albany Cafe. It's
See,
really
I
good.
knew it.
Yeah.
I knew there was a place. And what do you get at Albany Cafe?
It's called the Spartan Burger. It's really
See,
good.
I knew I didn't. We did not mention this, and I knew I didn't know there was a Spartan Burger, but I knew there was a
Oh,
whatever.
Yeah, it's really good. I love it.
Can you tell I grew up in small town? And my
Oh,
parents
yeah.
did too. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Sykeston, Missouri, Lambert's. Of course, everybody knows about Lambert's, but there's also King's Dairy there that has the best cheeseburger like
Really?
you would ever have there. So I love small towns, and I love Potosi, Arkansas has a Dairy King, and they have a great cheeseburger too.
Really?
And fries, and of course the chocolate shakes are good. So yeah, any small town, there's got to be that place. And so when I go to small towns, that's what I do. I either ask somebody like you or somebody there, say, hey, where do I need to go eat? And
Yeah.
most of the time they tell you a good place. Sometimes
yeah.
I think they tell you bad stuff, but no Hardee's, nothing wrong against them. But anyway, so what else? What does your family do in Albany?
So my mom, she's a school teacher at a school in Albany. She's a middle school English teacher, and then my dad, he's a social worker for the county. So that's kind of what they do. And then they grew up in northern Ohio, towards the Mansfield area. But then whenever they went to college, they both went to Ohio University, and then they
Okay.
just stayed around the area.
Okay. Your dad played basketball too?
He did, yeah. He
So-
played at Ohio University.
So
Yes,
you
sir.
got any brothers?
No brothers, but I do have a sister. She's a couple years older than me, and
Okay.
she is an athlete as well. She did track and field in college.
Okay. I just wondered, so did you in the backyard, did you play with your dad or
Oh, yeah.
just people in the neighborhood?
It was always my dad. Yeah, we would always go out to the driveway and shoot hoops together.
I never forget when you came for, I don't know how many times you visited, but I remember one of the visits you were here and your dad looked like he could still play.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like-
He's pretty tough. Every time in the driveway, he always puts up a pretty good game. So.
Does he have elbows?
Oh yeah, yeah. He uses them quite a bit, but I've only beat him a few times. But
I used to. We come from a very short family, as you might imagine. So we had an 8.5-foot goal in the backyard that we had to have it low enough that we could dunk. Dad played, and you didn't want to play with Dad.
Yeah.
Dad's elbows were he didn't care about
That's funny.
about using them. So I've been there. Those are the same. You probably remember that a lot, don't you? 'Cause playing with your dad, and you probably learned a lot about the game from him just because he played at a high level and stuff like that. So what brought you to Trevecca? How did you get connected to Trevecca and Coach Mance, who was here and recruited you?
Yeah, so basically, I went to this camp. It was kind of like a showcase type thing up in Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
And then Coach Mance was there, and I really didn't know anything about Trevecca while I was in high school. And then he just sent me a DM on Twitter, and then we started texting, and then I came on a visit, and then eventually I got offered, and then I committed here within probably about 4 months.
Okay.
So,
What? So you've been here now. You technically can graduate. I guess you are going to graduate. You have another year of eligibility that you could use. That's to be determined.
right.
And so, but talk about what, like you just said, you didn't know much about Trevecca at all. What's been the most surprising thing about Trevecca after being here for 4 years? By the way, through COVID
Yeah.
and everything else.
Yeah, so COVID was a little bit weird. It definitely didn't give off the same Trevecca kind of environment that we have now. So during COVID, it was very kind of isolated. Obviously,
Yeah.
they tried to have the family aspect of it, but then
Yeah.
really after COVID, that's whenever Trevecca really blossomed, and it's been a great school. Kind of like everybody knows everybody,
Yeah.
which I really like that feeling of. In high school, I always thought in college I'm just going to be a number like in the classrooms. And then so the professors here really care about you, and then the community, they all support the athletics and they love the athletes, so it's been great.
Unfortunately, your first year was COVID, and you probably did feel like a number. I felt like a number
Sure.
as an employee, and someone who'd gone to school here. It was completely different, and yet that was kind of what we all had to go through. But yeah, it kind of feels like this year everything's been all the way back to normal. What do you want to do with your life after Trevecca?
So I want to do something in finance. I'm really not too sure yet. Wealth management, financial management, maybe something in stocks, things like that. So I want to get into the finance field. I want to learn, grow more about that. Hopefully get an internship, things of that nature.
You can start helping me grow
Yes,
my
sir.
money. How about that?
That'd be nice.
That would be nice. Caleb Terry with you here today at halftime. Coming up next, more with Hillsdale here on the Great Midwest Digital Network.